Oh, are there vampires? Who was actually Dracula? How did he die and where is his body? I shall try to answer these questions here because he originally was a man who lived and died just like anybody in the borders of the Ottoman Empire, and his head was buried in Istanbul, cut, brought and buried in Istanbul. There I live. Briefly, he was educated in the Ottoman Empire to be a prince of Romania. After he was sent to his country, he had an unjust way of ruling and made very bad things to people around him, including Romenians, Bulgarians and Turks, like drinking their blood. Finally, he rebelled to Turks and he was killed in a war, and his head was cut and brought to Istanbul and buried in the famous street of Karaköy, named the Street of Banks, or with the old name, the Prince Street, Street of the Prince. I decided to explain this fact to your esteemed side because maybe some historians who are interested with this case and have relations with Turkey may try to find this fact. Vampires are mythological or folkloric creatures believed to subsist on human blood. In folklore, the term usually refers to the blood-drinking humans of Eastern European legends. Vampires are a frequent subject of fictional books and films. However, the main source for today's popular vampire belief seems to have originated in Transylvania, the home of Prince Vlad the Impaler. Vlad Tepes, the ruler of Carpathia, is a historical figure who is very well known in Turkey for his murders against Ottoman Turks. Dracula means the son of the devil, which is Dracul in Romanian. His way of using long sticks to have prisoners killed gave him the name Vlad the Impaler. Vlad Dracula, when he was a small child, first he was brought to the Ottoman palace in Edirne, West Turkey, to be educated and to be sent as a governor or prince to Romania. His best friend was the small Sultan Mehmed II, who would conquer Istanbul later. Two genius children had language, sword, horse riding and leadership lessons for years together, and they also became blood brothers. In 1451, he was sent back as a prince to rule Romania. In the beginning, everything was going very good. He was very close to the Ottoman Empire, but later some noble Romanian nationalists wanted to see him as their leader of free Romania. Meanwhile, he began using alcohol, lost his justice ruling to people, and developed unbelievable persecution methods. His method of torture was a horse attached to each of the victim's legs, while a sharpened stick was gradually forced into the body. The end of the stake was usually oiled, and care was taken that the stake not to be too sharp, else the victim might die too rapidly from shock. There are claims that thousands of people were killed by stakes at a single time. One such claim says 30,000 were staked, and the list of tortures made by him are nails in heads, cutting off limbs, blinding, burning, cutting off noses and ears, scalping, skinning, exposure to the elements or to animals, and boiling alive. The people also believe that he used to drink human blood. For example, he would have lunch in front of 1,000 strict and slowly dying prisoners. Lastly, he had the heads of the Ottoman ambassadors nailed onto their heads, and Sultan Mehmed decided to get rid of him after this event. Finally, Vlad III was killed in battle against the Ottoman near Bucharest in December of 1476. Dracula'S head was cut off by the Turks. His head was sent to Istanbul and preserved in honey, where the Sultan showed it on a stick as a proof that Dracula was dead. He was reported to be buried at a monastery located near Bucharest, but his exact place is unknown because his body could not be found. Now, as I told in the beginning, there is a street in the famous district of Istanbul named Bankalar Caddesi, the street of banks, where the banks are. Its old name was Voivoda, or Prince Street. Voivoda was the name given to Romanian princes. And it is believed that his head is buried here. So, if some historians are interested in this case and have relations with Turkey, they may try to find his head and seek it here. For your information, best regards.